Ramblin' Man, Moto, and Drone coming at you. It's a Saturday here in the Commonwealth. I've had a long day. Simple projects turned into long projects, and I just had other stuff to do during the day with kids stuff, so I had to stop some of the stuff in the middle. So, what is that message up there for? So, I am taking the bike after today and just let my guy work on the exhaust so I can do some other projects. And it's no rain. It's been raining all day, but figured I would zip out. And I'm riding the bike over, and someone from the family's behind me can give me a ride back. You'll notice after I asked a question, I removed that navigation from the nasal because I didn't like the view, and I had in my inventory a clutch/brake mount for the Zumo, so I have put that on, and so voila, we see that right here. Actually, that's real close, doesn't block the mirror. Now I did ride the bike up and down the driveway with the new seat on when it was just finished raining, and now that I'm on the official ride, I notice my ABS light is staying on. I'm not going to pull over right now to check out why. So after I got the seat on, put everything back, I rode it up and down the driveway, and it was fine. The only thing I did after that was remove that navigation thing from the nasal and extended and installed this over here on the clutch. And I hope nothing I did there caused that. I don't know. I'm sure you guys are probably, as you're hearing this, probably screaming at your keyboard, or at the monitor rather, and typing on your keyboard about what it could be. And maybe by the time I post this, I've already Googled it and hit some discussion forums to find out. But I'm going to take my chances with this ride that I have, because it seems to be running fine. I'm still debating whether these headlamps are pointed too high, but not a person has flashed me in 3 nights of test rides. I've decided to just leave these lights on. I may continue to tweak the adjustments on them, but otherwise I'm not gonna change them. You know, I've had other lights come on, like if you start and stop the bike too quickly or don't start it up correctly. After 3 restarts, I think it is, it goes away. I don't know if that means you didn't have a problem, but I've seen the dealer and others on forums say that as a solution. But I don't think it's the ABS light. I think it's some other light. So as much as I'd like the guy that sent me that Zumo mount, he specifically made that just for me, and he had made one for another sort of device. I just didn't like how it blocked the view of the nasal and this open view, and I actually have found I like this more. I hope me mounting this here, I'm just puzzled by this ABS light staying on. I didn't do, you know, you never know if you've pinched a wire or cut something incorrectly. I didn't cut anything, I mean cut it by mistake. I've never had this happen on any of my bikes. They all had ABS, and you know, the ABS light stays on until you get up to like whatever it is, 5 miles an hour or whatever, and then it goes off. I noticed when I was putting my kickstand up today, one time it felt awkward. Like, I can't describe it. Like, I almost felt like it was breaking. And I looked down, seemed to be fine. And I don't know if that had something to do with it. I don't think I'm going to be at a stoplight pretty much this whole ride is no stoplights. And but if I do get stopped at one, maybe I'll turn the bike off and restart it, see if that clears up anything. I want to play around more with these night settings on the GoPro, and I've never even set that up, I think, on the Insta360. I thought I would use that Insta360 a lot more than I have, for more than just biking as well, but it's kind of a neat novelty for me. I see YouTubers, especially those that probably derive their income from their channels, do a lot of it, and it's impressive and it looks cool, which is why I bought one, kind of a toy to kind of learn it. The technology is such that if you check out for, you know, a year and try to check back in, some of the stuff moves so quickly. In that spirit, one of the things I did this past week was go to the Apple store and get a demo of their new virtual reality headset. And my son had bought a virtual reality headset and didn't like it. It was one of these $400 or $500 units. Didn't fit him too well. I never put it on, but this Apple thing, man, I'm kind of an Apple geek. At one point I was all into PCs and Microsoft and Windows, D-O-Z-E as they call it. And man, somebody recommended getting a Mac, which back then was intimidating to me. I was younger and I'd never worked on one and thought it was really for graphic artists. And man, I just loved it, and I was hooked. That was when Steve Jobs was alive and they were cranking out but yeah, back then they were cranking out impressive improvements to the iPhone, and heck, rolling out the iPhone. And now it's like, oh, we made the iPhone 0.4 grams lighter. See if I can start and stop. I bet I'm gonna run out of time. Yep. They were the time capsule was a new backup device they had come out with. Yeah, I'm definitely sitting higher on this seat because my feet aren't touching. It's not just the backrest that was pushing me forward. You know, of course, Apple came out with the iPod and the time capsule, and the Apple TV. I can't remember if that was under Jobs or not. And I was like a kid at Christmas with that stuff. And I just felt like for the past number of years, you know, the Apple Watch, got one of those. They just weren't rolling out anything that really dazzled me. And you know, some camera improvements. And you know, if you jump from like an iPhone 7 to an iPhone 14, 15, you'll be like blown away by the improvements in the camera. But to go from the 13 to the 14 or 14 to 15, they're not always, you know, revolutionary. So anyhow, that virtual reality headset, man, that was cool. Now they're not cheap. They're like $3,800. You get like a 30-minute demo or something, is what I did. There was a guy across from me doing the same demo. He bought one at the end of the demo. I did not. But I really wanted to see movies on it, see how it looked, and it was very cool. We were in a bright Apple store with people all around, and I felt like, hey, I'm in a movie theater. You could pick, hey, do you like to sit in the front seat, the back, the middle, balcony, and it changed the view of the movie. based on where you would sit. You could make it transparent more so you could see people around you in reality that were there, but I zoned them all out, and man, that was cool. I had seen Zach Brown Band did a concert one time. I didn't see the concert because I didn't have a VR headset, but with the same idea in mind. You could watch it through a VR and pick what row, or the grass, or the front row, or the pit, you know, and that's just really cool. You know, you could have people that are, you know, handicapped, or in the church, you call them shut-ins. I don't know if anybody else calls them shut-ins, but you know, for whatever reason, or, you know, other countries and things. During the demo, you know, they asked me if I was okay with heights and sharks underwater coming at me. I'm like, sure. And I wasn't like the people you see in videos that fall down because they think something's really happening, but it was immersive and it was cool. I mean, you felt like a shark was right in front of you in the water. Just really neat. I know a lot of you already know all this stuff, and I'm going to be impressed to see what they do with it all and what content people come up with. One of the other, you know, they had it like you were walking a tightrope across a canyon with somebody that was doing that, and you look down and like you're there. And saying that doesn't really do it justice. Seeing Apple TV, seeing Apple's commercials, they don't really do it justice. You gotta wear one, and it's a free demo. Go check it out. Anyone 13 and older. They also, this is another neat thing, I'm getting age-related vision loss, and now kind of wear reading glasses. And they told me to bring those in. They read your prescription and then make or have your prescription that they attach on. And if you buy one, you know, each person, that is a pro and a con. Each person in your family, if they want to use it, needs this. But they made them right on site, and it's heck, if they can do that, man, Apple could be in the eyeglass business rather than waiting 3 weeks at LensCrafters or wherever on the internet. Man, Apple just made some, or had on hand, these lenses. But I was just really impressed with that VR headset. I didn't get to demonstrate, get a demo of any games. They had told me that I needed to tell them that, and they would have substituted something else. But I had a feeling, normally at the Apple Genius Bar, they know all the answers. What's this guy going so slow? They know all the answers. And I was asking some questions that I couldn't find online or didn't think of when I was looking. And the guy told me, like, I might have been like the third demo they had done. And he told me on a few questions I had that he didn't know the answer. Good thing about the Zumo, it does have a speedometer on it, and it's easier to see than the one down on my tank. I don't have a feel on this bike yet for how fast I'm really going. And it's really hard for me to tell if my lights are shining into people's rear views. So today with that seat, you know, I've joked that no project for me turns out simple. And you know, part of it is, you guys have seen some of the background. I've got one of my garages organized better than the other, and it's tough with kids and everything else going on. I want to better organize stuff, and I don't. So part of it's just finding the darn tools and getting them back together, or somebody in the family's taken a tool and left it where they were working, and that adds a little frustration. If you've never heard the Aaron Tippin song about, I think the name of the song is Country Boys, $2. It's pretty funny. Let's pull that up. Boy, these roads look wet. Deceiving. It's dark. Got a little reflection from lights anyway. You know, you start to feel like, man, are my wheels, well, I'm getting some buffeting from that big truck, I think. Get out of his blind spot, get on past here. A project like today, I did not put Loctite on everything because I was having to do and undo so much. And sometimes I do, and I think on this project I might go back. It turned out, aside from the wet roads, it's kind of a fun night to be out. I gotta tell you, I'm a little undecided on the ultimate seat because my feet are not touching at stoplights like they used to. When I had the bike centered before, I had both feet down. Now I feel like I got just a slight lean. And I took the backrest off for this trip. I was expecting it to be, expectations were raised pretty high because so many people on forums, didn't necessarily tell me, but I read them. Some people did tell me when I asked that they loved that seat and it was plush and that the Corbin is hard. And they didn't like the Corbin. I've loved both Corbins to the point I almost ordered one, but it was $800 more than this seat. I think when I ordered my first Corbin, it was $800. Tells you how expensive these things have gotten. Ultimate was cheaper with a 14-day return policy, so I'm like, well, got nothing to lose. I'll try that. Just money and time. Kind of hate to for the ride to end. It's pretty not a bad night to be out aside from the rain on the ground, but it's not raining right now. Feels pretty good. Low, high. There's no difference. I don't understand it. I should try to just leave the high on and see if anybody flashes me. Somebody in the comments said that. Said just go with one of them because it doesn't make any difference.